This is CNN 1190.
All right, we're back here on the Wall Street Shuffle with one of my absolute favorite guests. We have Gerald Celente on the line, and I'm telling you, Gerald has been on every TV show. He's on every show that I watch, and I'm sure he's on every other show that I don't watch. He is one. I want to say one of, but I really want to say probably the most respected trend forecaster in the country. He's author, and he's an author. He's founder and director of the Trends Research Institute. Gerald, you've got on your list of credentials predicting the '87 stock market crash, the fall of the Soviet Union. Gee whiz, we've got so many things that you've been absolutely right on target on. Now, with that as an introduction, first of all, hey, thanks for coming back on the show. I love it every time you're on.
Oh, thank you so much. I love being here.
Well, and now that's the good part. Now here's the bad part. You are such a good forecaster. When people hear what you're going to say, they're going to dismiss it because it's going to not sound as though it's not the green shoots. It's not the little pretty little flowers growing up in the field. You don't see the little green shoots out there. I don't see them either. My answer is that if people know the kind of economy that we're in, we can prepare ourselves for it. People made money in the Depression if they prepared themselves. But if they don't know what's coming, they're going to be like deer in a set of headlights. So, Gerald, I have to ask you, I'm going to ask you, and we've got my good friend also, Ron Ianieri, on the line with us. I'm sure Ron will have a couple questions. Gerald, I've heard you talk about rioting in the streets, ATMs, bank holidays, food riots. And this is not 20 years in the future, is this, my friend?
No, we're going to see it continuing. By 2012, it'll be obvious to even those who can't read the handwriting on the wall. The United States is in a decline, the likes of which we've never seen before. And whether or not people want to subscribe or ascribe to what we say, that's up to them. Our motto at the Trends Research Institute, by the way, is think for yourself. This is what we're saying. This is what we see. This is what our research shows. This is what the data adds up to. Do the math, and you come up with your own conclusions. And what we see is the greatest depression on the horizon. And you really said it right at the top of this, is that those that prepare are going to be able to proact in anticipation of what's to come. If you want to believe that Washington is going to come and save the day, hey, knock yourself out. I'm a guy from the Bronx. Do what you want to do.
We had Chris Gardner on last week, and I told everybody in the first segment he was the person that the movie The Pursuit of Happiness was based around that Will Smith played, and his line was, help is not coming.
Again, by their deeds you shall know them. Look what Washington has accomplished. Remember Katrina? Oh, what a great job they did. And how they fixed those levees? Oh, the best in the world. Oh, right here in New York, you should see the new World Trade Center. Just as they promised, bigger and better than ever before. They haven't filled a hole in the ground yet. Look at the wars they're prosecuting. We're losing them. You want to believe we're winning them? Hey, go ahead. Believe whatever you want to believe. They're draining the Treasury. There's not one thing that they have done that they could say, hey, look at the success that we've achieved. If any of us in working life had so many failures in front of us, they wouldn't hire us to be a dog catcher.
You were on Glenn Beck not too long ago, and you actually, I won't read the entire quote, but your quote started out with, this is just a few years in the future, maybe not even that far. New York City looks like Mexico City.
Look what's going on in Mexico City. They're kidnapping people whose families they believe have a little bit of money or a lot of money, because a lot of people have no money. And again, as a guy from the Bronx, my saying is, when people lose everything and they have nothing left to lose, they lose it. And you're going to see more and more kidnappings, crimes, gang crime increasing. And New York City, in a lot of ways, is going. Look, it's the financial was the financial capital of the world. You walk up and down the streets in New York, what do you see? For rent, for rent, for sale, for rent.
Gerald, how do people still see the commercial and the retail real estate markets as having hope? Are they truly that blind to the fact that these properties out there, that malls are shutting right and left, that office buildings are open, they're neutron buildings, nobody in them, other buildings are closing? Are people just ignoring this and saying that it's just a mystery because there are little green shoots popping up?
People watch these business news shows and they see one advertisement after another. Hey, you can't go fishing with your friends because you have to, go to the bathroom all the time? You need Flomax. Tell your doctor that you need Flomax. And then they give you 20, double that time of why if you take this stuff, it's going to, your liver will never work, you may go blind. People buy that stuff. They think McDonald's is food. So, of course, they're believing, when they roll out. I love it. They call Larry Summers, the U.S. Treasury Secretary, how brilliant he is. Oh, he's brilliant. He's brilliant. This guy showed up one day a week and made $5.2 million. I say he's brilliant. So people look up to the kings and queens of commerce that are robbing them blind. I love those advertisements. I've never heard them before, by the way, waiting to go on the air about how they're sending our money overseas and how I never knew about this radio tax that they want to give to foreign companies.
Well, they're referring to people like Sony and there's 3 of the 4 major music distributors are foreign companies, and they want to earn a higher percentage of revenues off of radio stations, off the music that's being played. And there's not a God knows I know the folks here at CNN and Clear Channel and radio stations across the country, not a more challenged business for profitability right now than radio.
Of course, it's hard to get advertisers. And now they want more money. You see, this is what's going on. It's this whole too big to fail concept is a fraud. And I'll give you an example. With full authority, I can say it because, first of all, their mother's not better than mine.